disappear bottom first? What's going on there?
Can you answer my question, please?
How do things disappear bottom first? What's going on there? Bottom first. Why are things disappearing bottom first?
Question, please.
Why are things obstructed from the bottom? Why can't we see to the beach to beach? What's the reason?
Because your eyes are fallible.
Ah, okay, good. That's a good answer. Anyone else is why we have obstruction? Davros is now on the flat earth.
Your eyes.
Welcome to Flat Earth, Davros.
Chemo, I'm talking about your eyes, but how come you didn't answer my one question?
Because he doesn't do
I don't
answers.
need to know you're a flat earther, right? Welcome to Flat Earth.
He does this to me about every 6 months.
Welcome to Flat Earth, Davros. You don't have a geometrical physical horizon, so therefore you can't have any geometry, right?
I reject your reality and I replace it with my own.
So do you have a measurement to the geometrical physical horizon?
What height are we at?
Any height you want.
Okay, so I'm going to pick a bacteria on the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah, where is that? Where is the geometric horizon for the bacteria on your shoe?
It can't see past the tread on my shoe.
Well, where's the horizon for it? What does it see?
It can't see the horizon.
Is your tread curved?
No.
So it's flat. Why can't it see to the end of your shoe?
It's undulating.
Like, why can't it see to the end of your shoe?
Because my steel cap's shoved up your ass.
So how far can the bacteria see?
I don't know. It's up your ass.
Why did you bring up bacteria?
Because it was on the bottom of my shoe.
Yeah, but we're looking where the physical.
You don't know how to follow a conversation, do you?
No, he doesn't.
I'm following the geometrical physical horizon. Where is it? Any clue?
Since when is that our argument? That's your argument.
Your argument
not
is
ours.
there is obstruction. Boats disappear bottom first.
Yeah, but we don't say it's due to the geometric horizon, do we?
Okay, fine. Why do ships disappear bottom first?
Because
they just got torpedoed.
Yeah, or it's sinking.
Another one bites.
There's a rogue U-boat out there, and it just torpedoed.
Another one bites the. Davros, why do things disappear bottom first?
Because you're a numpty.
Because somebody pulled the plug.
We're now Buddhists. Davros, try again. Why do things disappear bottom first over water?
Because your mother no longer loves you.
And it's not because of Earth curve, yes?
So it's true, your mother no longer loves you.
Yes, it's because of my mother, not because of Earth curve.
But probably still financially supports him.
The most important thing, Davros, that it's not. It can be anything, but not Earth curve, right?
Why is that?
Well, I must find it from Davros.
No, why are you saying it can't be Earth curve? Why are you ruling out Earth curve?
Davros, what's happened to you, Mr. Chatty?
Why can't it be Earth curve?
Yeah.
I don't know. Can it? Is it? Have you measured it?
Well, why can't it be?
I don't know. Is it? Tell me. Have you measured it?
Have you measured it?
No.
Have you measured the flatness?
Nobody knows the shape of the Earth. No.
Oh, well.
How do you measure flat?
You've got a paper that says nobody knows the shape.
But you say it's flat.
Yeah, it looks that way. Have you measured it? I haven't measured it. It looks that way.
Hey, Chemo,
Rainbows
how do you
look
measure
curved.
flat?
I don't know. Have I measured it? No, it just looks curved. The rainbow looks curved. Earth looks flat. I don't know. I haven't measured it. It just looks flat. You said you've measured it, right? When did you measure it, Davros?
What? When did I say I measured it?
Oh, you've never measured it. Who do you know has measured it, Davros?
I asked you a question. I've asked you a second question. How do you measure flat?
How do you measure curve?
You can tell he's not listening because he says too quickly.
How do you measure curve, Davros? Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
It cannot be done, right?
I need more tea.
Davros, it cannot be done, right?
What do you mean it can't be done?
Curvature, measurements of curvature cannot be done.
You answer a question.
Can you do it?
Of course you
I
can't.
can't measure curvature. Can you?
That is correct. You cannot answer a question.
Can you measure curvature?
I don't know. I'm not answering your question.
I don't know if I can measure curvature. You ever tried to measure curvature?
Why would I measure your curves?
No, your curve of your Earth, your curve in Earth.
What?
The curve in Earth that you say you live on.
Why are you bringing curved into this conversation?
No, I'm talking about the curved Earth.
What the fuck are you doing?
Talking about curved Earth.
What?
Oh, the Earth is not curving then.
What do you mean curved Earth?
Earth is the
You kind of
Earth.
expose yourself a little bit there, Davros. You're like, why would I measure your
That's
curve?
okay.
Oh no, why? I don't know what he's saying. He's all over.
Okay.
He's all over the place.
Hey, look, I play in the locker room too. All right, it doesn't matter.
So, Davy,
I'm just waiting for the
who's
crack of the
making these
towel.
measurements of curvature then?
Oh, apparently you are. I thought you were going down to do the Bedford level experiment.
But you're not.
But I thought you were going to give us the facts, the figures, and the numbers.
But you're not.
But you're not bringing anything.
Yeah, I am, like you said, but you're not.
But you aren't there. Why aren't you there? It's Saturday. You should be there doing it now.
Because I'm asking you, who's measured the curvature?
Is it summer in the UK right now?
No, it's no curvature season.
So it's not summer in the UK right now?
No curvature season, no. It's not the season of curvature.
So it's not summer?
No.
Right.
Well, it's curving ball that you think you live on, that you pretend to live on. Who's measuring this curvature?
I always thought June, July, August was summer in the UK.
You thought June was measuring the curve. Who's June?
No, I said Jude.
Jude, who's Jude?
Jude Law.
He measured curvature when producer. Crickets.
Oh, you want a citation? Oh.
No, I want to see somebody at work, like they're building a house, measuring curve.
On a weekend? What?
Yeah, like they build a house, they go to work and measure stuff. We can see that. I can get you a video of somebody building a house. Show me someone at work measuring curvature. Whose job is it? Whose job is it to measure curvature anyway? Geodetic surveyor. So let's have a look at them at work.
Okay, you show me how it works then.
I have no idea how to measure curvature. You show me how they do it.
Then how do you know it's not curved?
Because no one's ever measured it.
But you said you don't know how to measure it.
No, I've said no one's ever measured it.
But you just said you don't know how to measure curvature.
I would if I saw somebody doing it. Like chopping down a tree, right? You see the father chopping down, you copy it. So if you You think doing geodetic surveying is like chopping down a tree? No, I'm just saying if I watch them how they do it, then I will know how to do it.
Oh my goodness.
Crickets, silence. Another one bites the dust. So Davros, let's get into it. Who's measuring your Earth, your curvature? Crickets.
Oh, well then...
Crickets, Davros.
Other than...
find a surveyor and shadow him.
Oh, they're helping you out now, Davy. You're drowning, sinking. You're being swallowed up by a great whale. Oh.
Hey, I've created a good show for you, haven't I, Chemo?
No.
Oh, what?
Awful. A good show would be measurements.
Oh, that's unfair.
A good show would be measurements, practicality.
I thought I was a celebrity on your show.
No, this is awful. You're embarrassing the Globers.
Oh, I do that all the time anyway. You know that.
Yeah, we're used to that.
Well, can you do
Careful,
better?
Davros. He's recording this.
Do better, Davros.
Yeah, but the thing is, he recorded my awesome
Davros?
rant. No, he recorded my awesome rant at Right the Hand, and
no chance that
like
you can do
Right
better.
the Hand just went downhill from there.
What we're
that was
looking
over
for,
a year
Davros,
ago.
is do you have a religious belief? I didn't know you were religious.
What?
I never knew you were religious.
Oh, I have one postulation of me coming back to Christianity, and that is if Jesus
not
comes
that
down
religion,
and sucks
the globe
my
religion.
dick.
Talking about the globe religion.
It's not a religion.
Yeah, you worship Helios.
No, we don't.
No, I don't.
Is the sun at the center of your world? Or galaxy or universe?
I worship Sol.
Yeah, where is the sun at the center?
Our solar system.
At the center of your solar system, yeah?
Well, it's your solar system too, whether you like it or not.
So the sun
it's actually
is
at the barometric center.
Hang on.
Yeah. Let me just clear this up.
I thought that was.
Hold on a second, Cypher.
I thought Satan was the one who was supposed to be sacrificing goats too.
No, we're not allowed to anymore.
Shit.
Hold on a second. So you're saying the sun is at the center of your...
Your fucking deity changes every day with this religion.
How can we keep...
I might just bow out.
Yeah.
So the
It's
sun...
only close to the center. It's not the exact
The
center.
sun is at the center of your soul.
Actually, no.
No, it's solar.
You've been soul-lured.
No, that's not how you spell it, Chemo.
Soul...
God, you're really shit at English, aren't you?
Yeah, so the sun is at the center of your soul.
No, I don't. No.
Yeah.
Solar. S-O-L.
There's no U in it.
There's no U in it.
Soul lure.
God, I really must be fucking bored to be sitting here doing this.
So, that's who you worship. That's your God. It's at the center of your soul. Lure. Yeah?
No,
Come on, guys. This is actually pretty funny.
Well, it is a bit, but
Oh, that's where the sun is. That's what you worship. It's at the center of your soul, as I've just said.
Chemo, I don't worship anything.
What we're trying to do is gather some evidence from Davros.
Yes, rocket scientist, you beat me to it. Chemo, I don't worship anything.
You worship the sun.
No, I don't. No.
Why do you put the sun at the center of your soul?
I don't have a soul.
Yeah, you have a soul.
No, I don't have a soul. SOUL. That
you have
doesn't
a solar, yeah.
What, solar of the sun? Yes, the sun is at the center of our solar system. I don't put it there. It is. But I don't have a soul. I'm not spiritual.
I know you don't have a soul.
This guy worships a warm lamp.
I don't worship anything, you fucking retard.
You're like Aladdin.
What?
I don't know what that means. It's a magical lamp.
Are you just like a random shit generator?
What do they call the thing in Aladdin? Isn't it called like a magical... What is it?
Jinn?
The jinn.
Yeah, but what's it in?
Lamp.
There you go.
Yeah, it's in a lamp.
Why is it a lamp? It doesn't even have light.
I don't know. I didn't come up with a fucking story.
I think you're thinking of Big. Tom Hanks. That thing in the box now.
No, I'm thinking of Aladdin. They call it a lamp, even though it doesn't have any light.
A jinn is the name for a genie. Yeah.
Magic lamp.
Yeah. What the how did we get here?
Anyways, the point is you worship a lamp just like Aladdin.
No, I don't
Fine,
worship
like
a lamp.
Jafar.
Who? What? You've gone far too Jafar, yeah.
So, look, Davros, you've been slaughtered again by a silly flat earther.
What?
You're supposed to be an educated globe earther, and you have no...
Whoever said I was educated?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be, because you're a glober, you're supposed to be ahead of us. But
Chemo, I need evidence that I'm actually educated.
Yeah, but by default, you're supposed to be more intelligent than the flat earther.
Oh, so you don't have any evidence?
No.
Right, and what we're seeing right now is your intellect is limited when it comes to measurements of the Earth.
I never said anything about
There's a reflection on those words there.
So why don't you start to use your brain, figure out how you're going to measure curvature of your ball.
But Kimo, so you said if someone needs to be smarter and he has no evidence, then someone who's smarter needs to have some evidence or some measurements, and you personally don't have any measurements.
No, that's right.
I never claimed to.
No, Matt. No model.
But you said that Flat Earther is smarter than him, and he has no evidence. But a Flat Earther doesn't have any evidence either, and therefore they aren't smarter than him on based on that fact.
Yeah, because we understand science, whereas you don't. That's the difference.
But that wasn't your argument. Your argument was that he has no measurements.
Yeah?
And a Flat Earther has no measurements either,
but we
and
never
therefore...
claimed to.
Kimo, you're having memory problems again.
Yes.
Why?
He does that.
You've forgotten all the times you made claims and claimed to have evidence.
Yeah.
Evidence. We've got evidence that nobody knows the shape of the Earth. I just posted a paper for you.
No, you haven't. No, you didn't.
But hang on. You said you know the shape is flat.
Yeah.
No, flat's not a shape. What is wrong with you, Davros?
Wait, hang on. You're telling me flat's not a shape?
Are you
How the fuck do I square up a frame for a gate?
Are you carrying your bag full of dirt with you this morning?
Hang on, Chemo, I'll ask you this
Like
question again. I asked it about 20 minutes again. How do you measure...
Hold on, let me look in my bag deep down. Looking around. Oh, yeah, there's me with the dirt.
Okay, I'll ask again. How do you measure flat?
Yes. That's not a shape.
Actually, it is.
What shape is it?
It may not be the full description of a shape, but it's still a shape.
Davros says
Round
Don't
is a
shave
shape.
him, man.
It's all over the gaff. All over the shop.
You can't measure flat.
What shape
I wouldn't
is flat?
want to be Hang on, I wouldn't want to be trying to make an accurate table for measurements of things at a 0 point, would I then? If I didn't measure it flat.
What shape is flat?
Oh, I love how he's saying flat is level now. You're Flat Earther, Davros?
Of course.
I never said anything about it being level.
Well, we level out tables, right?
You didn't
So you're saying
understand
you're
the point.
never going to want to measure a flat table, so you're basically saying flat is level.
All right, cherry picker.
Getting ruined, Davros.
Po cunt comes in like a po cunt. Yay!
Yeah.
And Chemo just lies.
Come on,
Dabby
Davros.
J.
Pick it up.
Yay.
Pick up the pace. Come on.
Well, one thing you can say about Chemo is he's not a pedo like Pacanti.
Partner.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Some piece of shit spoke all over you.
Yeah, no, I said the one thing you can give Chemo over Pacanti is he's not a pedo like Pacanti.
Oh, that's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
You got
He
me.
just sells
I'm
kids.
the biggest,
Right.
No, he
That's
doesn't
the
do
last
that.
we're gonna hear
pedo
that.
out there.
Don't bring that up again. I want to hear about
Why not?
that stuff.
I'll keep bringing
Why?
it up until Pacanti is fucking banned.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, keep doing it.
Yeah, well, not now. Because we're in the middle of a flat Earth discussion.
No,
well,
we're not.
Well,
ban
actually,
Pacanti then.
But if
What?
he wants to get involved, we're allowed to bring up something he's stated in this room.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No.
Why? You do it to me all the time.
None of
Yeah.
that talk in here. This is already, you know what Gem's like already. Okay? So the less we talk about
Well,
that,
we're not
Not
the
very
ones
happy.
that talk like that, are we? We're just saying we want Pacanti banned because he said that in here. That's fair enough.
Because
isn't
I
it?
said historically, people were considered adults after puberty.
yeah, look,
What's wrong with
No,
you?
Right,
you were
sci-fi,
advocating
you
for
started
it for
this,
it
this is your
again.
fault.
So
If they went back to it, it's
No.
not a problem.
no.
It wasn't morally incorrect that
It's
they
a very
considered adults
sensitive subject,
people adults
Sven.
after
It's
puberty.
Way too sensitive. Way too sensitive. For,
No, it's not Chemo. I mean, he's a piece of shit, and
Yeah,
he should
It
have been
is
banned
too
when he
sensitive
said
for you
it.
guys because you guys have been like indoctrinated by modern culture,
Fuck
and you
off.
think it's absolutely like horrendous
Fuck off,
for
you
someone.
piece of shit.
We consider them young adults now. It's not
No.
that huge of a stretch that they were
No, we
considered
don't.
adults
Right.
50,
Look,
100
this is
years
not
ago.
going
Look, just
down
fucking
well.
stop it.
Many of us have
You're a
parents and
loathsome piece of
grandparents
shit.
that got married at like 15, 16, whatever, and had kids at that age. So you're just tripping.
Ban the piece of shit.
Yeah,
Not cool.
There's no need for that.
Let's focus on the shape of the Earth here, and then and that obviously.
Yeah, it's a sphere. Thank you. Job done.
Well, the question is, how do we know?
It's not an argument.
Oh,
How do
fuck
we-
off.
Hey, Globe, is that Globus?
Yes, hey, Kimo, what's
Get
going
in
on?
here, Globus. What's going on? Have you seen the paper I posted this morning? I posted a paper this morning that shows we don't know what the shape of the Earth is. We're still trying to figure out the best way of determining the shape of the Earth.
No, I haven't had the pleasure of viewing it, no.
No, because Chemo didn't present that. He's lying.
Have a look at it.
Chemo,
Yes, Brian. Yes.
It'd be lovely.
morning.
Oh,
Morning.
fuck's-
Let me know
there
if I'm
goes
hot
the
micing 'cause
neighbourhood.
I'm in the lorry.
Yeah, you're hot micing.
Just mute so you don't get in any bother. You ready to
What's
come?
the weather doing down there, fathers?
It tried to rain. It's sort of half and half. It could be dry. It could rain.
Oh, that's
Better get
Hopefully
the
it won't, but
intermediates.
you know,
Better get the intermediates out
carry
there,
on.
farmers.
I'll put the idiot barriers up, shall I?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Brian, I
you
hope
need
you're
the
having a
padded
wonderful
ones.
day.
we're not racing till tomorrow.
He's too old for you, percentage.
Okay.
Yeah,
What?
slightly more chance of rain tomorrow, but only slightly.
Sorry for saying something relevant.
Yeah, how dare you?
Globus, paper here. Look at it in your own time. But basically, it just says they have no idea what the shape of the Earth is. They're trying to figure it out. Best way to go about measuring it, and apart from that, they just got to assume a geoid. You know.
Be careful, Globus. If you're in Australia, that is a Russian document, by the way.
Technically,
Very
it's
old Russian document.
Thanks for that,
1948.
Kimo. I'll
Yeah.
definitely check that out.
But in the
read it all,
meantime,
Just don't read the last page,
I've just been
Globus.
hammering Davros here with the
Stop good.
geometric horizon. Now, watch Davros
What?
squirm.
Hang on. What geometric horizon are you talking about?
What's
It's not
it?
our argument. It's yours.
Yeah.
We don't have a geometric
in the
horizon.
meantime, in between
Yeah.
time.
I've asked this.
You
I've asked
almost
this
had it, Mabbit. It's you don't see a geometric horizon. Try again.
That's it. You don't see the geometric horizon.
Oh, hang on. I've got a photograph
you
of the
go.
geometric horizon.
Oh, JJ's giving me the Deveroos to bunk the chemo.
Globus was absolute destroying Davros all over.
Sorry,
the
I wasn't
place.
saying something or anything, chemo.
No, because he'd just talk over you like a
Oh, we're
cunt.
just talking. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, the worst thing was, a couple of days ago, I actually gave Chemo a cause and effect for gravity, and he fucking denied it.
Of course he did.
So anyway, Globus, Davros was like, oh yeah, I can prove the curvature. And then he was like, no, I can't prove the curvature. So what is it, Davros? Can you prove the Earth is curving or not?
Yeah, Davros, show us the proof, sir.
I don't have any proof. I've got evidence, though.
What evidence do you...
No, you asked for proof. I can't give you any proof.
What evidence do you got?
What sort of alcohol do you want? I can give you a proof on that.
No, evidence.
Got some mass problems? I can give you some proof on that.
So you have
evidence. Where the fuck is the evidence?
Yeah, but he didn't ask for evidence percentage. He asked for
proof. Now.
Remember that? No. That's after I prompted him to. So I'm going with his first premise. I'm cherry picking what he asked for.
Yeah, you don't have
what kind of cherry?
You have evidence. Though.
Yeah. Bit of a Nina cherry, I think. Or
what?
maybe even an eagle-eye cherry.
I like that. Yeah, good reference there.
Davros, you're falling apart.
I didn't get the first one.
You're embarrassing
Nina
yourself
cherry.
and the whole world. Now, where are those measurements that you know of curvature and geometric horizons?
Do you want them in imperial or metric?
I just want you to show the people that work.
British, or do you want it in British Standard Whitworth?
Show the people that working, doing the job.
Because if you want it in BSW, I'm going to have to murder you.
What about the job? Has anyone been paid? When did anyone pay them to do this? Actually, who paid them to measure the curvature? Where's the wage bills? Where's the salary? Who gets
curvature?
Paid? Do they just buy equipment and say, right, I'm going to go and measure it myself?
Yeah, hang on.
That's what I used to get paid to do.
So you used to get paid.
I want to know where this is. Where's this going? Where the fuck is this going?
Or is it just a thing?
$1,500 a week. It was pretty good.
Is it a hobby or is it a paid job?
No, it was a paid job.
No, measuring curvature radius. Is it a paid
job
or is it a hobby?
Yeah, it was paid.
So here's a look then at your work. You at work?
Well, you're probably using parts of it right now.
No, curvature.
Are you on the internet?
Curvature.
Are you on the internet?
Yeah, are you on the internet right now, Kmart?
Oh my gosh. Earth curve.
There you go. Congratulations. Yep.
Oh, so he's not on the internet right now. He's on Earth curvature.
Must not be.
But he just said he's on Earth curvature.
There must be a new ISP. I haven't heard of them before. I might have to look.
What, Earth curvature? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Must be pretty good. Better than this MBN shit.
Right.
You have failed. You owe me £2,000, Cypher, for your made-up claim about Moss. Is always in the
Wait,
law.
hang on. You said you were never going to discuss those things in here again.
And you owe me another £1,000 for saying you could direct yourself anywhere in the world using Moss.
Yeah, I'm still getting there. I've still got a bad hip. Once I've not got a bad hip, once I get my hip replacement, then I'm going to do it.
Why the Globe Earth is lying?
Can't wait to do it, actually. I'm quite looking forward to getting back out to nature.
How can you do it if they're not all facing north?
What?
You said I can do
it.
Actually,
hang on.
It's not facing north.
What?
There's got to be a pole shift. Oh, you said it wrong. You said it wrong, Mabbit. Exactly. And you didn't suck through your teeth before you said it.
So, Cypher, how are you going to navigate if they're somewhere in the south, somewhere in the north?
With a stick.
Yeah, but not all are facing north. So how are you going to do it?
Well, how do you know that they're not?
Well, the stick will tell me which way
north
is.
Whoa. What do you say there, Davros?
I said, how do you know that they're all facing north?
What do you mean, how do I know? Because I know these things.
How do you know?
I just know.
But
what?
Which way's north?
North. North is north. Opposite of south.
From where?
Opposite of south.
He doesn't know.
South was in every direction.
But there was no south.
Yeah, there's a
Don't use the word south, Chemo. There is no south. It's trickery.
You can't use the word southern. It's trickery of the mouth.
Yeah.
It's witchcraft. That's from your mouth, Chemo. They are your words. Southern doesn't exist.
That's correct.
Yeah, don't swear at us. Come on.
But the south will take you to the ice wall. All
around. He swore at us again. Stop swearing, Chemo.
So we have no evidence. We only have clowns left in the circuit. Just jokers. People looking for entertainment. That's how badly we've destroyed your expert.
Are you a smoker?
We have jesters with funny hats.
Are you a toker?
Any more jokes, boys?
Well, I think some of it might just go straight up the old nose, you know. Yeah.
So he's a midnight toker.
So
Yeah.
you thought no, I didn't say I wouldn't bring up Moss.
No.
I said I wouldn't bring up the fact that you said the Amazon was in North America.
No, I never. I said Central America. Get your facts straight.
Central, North America, whatever. You thought it was in America.
What?
I said I wouldn't bring that up
It
again.
is. Hang
I said I
on.
wouldn't
The
bring up
Amazon
the fact
is
that
in
Cypher
America.
Thought that all the moss is in the north.
Hang on, Chemo. Can you repeat that? You're saying the Amazon is not in America. You understand there's North and South America, right? They're still classified as America?
Yes, the Americas.
So the Amazon is in America, yeah?
Yeah.
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 South.
Yeah,
America.
still one of the Americas.
I mean, just because it's got South. Well, hang on. No, he's right. We're not allowed to use the word South. Remember?
Yeah, so it is in America then. There is no South America.
Yep,
It doesn't
that's
exist.
Exactly right.
That's not what you said.
Oh, done
Chemo,
in by your own comments.
Yeah,
Voiced
you just
by
got
your
done
own
in by your
petard.
own. Yeah,
But that's not what
your
you
own
said, though, is it?
hubris.
So where is
has
the Amazon,
screwed you over.
Davros?
In
No,
Brazil.
no?
In Brazil.
Not just Brazil.
What are you saying, percentage? Does it go through other countries in the northern part of South America?
Said North America is where Amazon.
No, I never.
Yes, you did.
A citation needed.
What are you embarrassed now for?
No, I said that the Amazon River ran into Colombia.
No, you never. You're such a liar.
I would like to stand by what I actually said.
Yeah.
I stated that the Amazon River ran into Central America.
No, you said it's in the North America.
I never said that.
We had to correct you.
See, Chemo is like Eric Cartman. Makes shit up as he goes along and then changes the story when it suits him.
Yeah. He's been doing that for years.
You were
That's
like,
what he
don't
does.
bring it up again, and I haven't brought it up again. Yeah?
But then you brought it up.
Because I just said, that's
brought
not
it up
what I
like
was going to bring
2.5
up. I
minutes
brought
ago.
up Cypher's mistake by saying...
Yeah, and you also brought up Davros's
By
as well,
saying that
which you said you weren't
the
going
moss
to.
in
You
the
said you weren't going to bring it up in here.
No,
like,
that's what I said.
earlier.
Davros said, why did you bring it up? And I'm like, I didn't bring up your one. I brought up Cypher's one.
Which you also
By
said you wouldn't bring up
saying
in the main room again.
No, you haven't
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah, you did.
Stolen money. A liar. Swindle.
How has he stolen money he hasn't paid you?
Yeah.
He's got my £2,000.
It's not
Action.
yours.
Should be £2,000 lighter. That's not his.
It's not yours either.
Yeah, I won
Well,
it.
I've got other shit I need to pay at the moment. You're not very high on my
I
list
won
of
it fair and
priorities right
square.
No, you didn't. I'm
No.
still going to go out and do it.
Yeah, sure you are.
I am, as soon as I can.
What, with some of the moss facing south?
It will be, yeah, here.
How are you going to do that then?
Yep, as soon as I can
Yep.
walk.
So, that's the point. That you and Davros constantly make mistakes. Why we're asking you for measurements is
Pretty
beyond
sure
me.
that's the only one I've made.
But, you know, we've got to ask you guys,
Well,
you
the
are
biggest one
Globers, and
anyway.
why you believe in what you believe for no good reason.
Oh, look at that. Amazon is in America. Amazon.com, headquarters, Seattle, Washington, United States. Thank you very much. I win.
Yeah, it's in South America. You didn't say that.
I didn't know Seattle was in South America.
Yeah, you
It's not.
said the Amazon is in North America.
No, he
Yeah,
said
Amazon.
America.
You said that
Yeah,
now, you didn't say it
America.
at the time.
Actually, if any of the people would like to come in here and actually back me up with my fuck up, I stated that the Amazon River ran into Colombia in South America.
Yes,
Well,
it
in
does.
Central America.
Doesn't it?
Oh, look at that. Oh. But I
don't know,
fucked up
to be
by
honest.
saying Colombia was part of Central America.
It's definitely in Brazil, definitely in Peru. I don't know if it is in Colombia.
And you
Amazon
right.
is
I
a
mean,
vast... Hang
the
on,
the
Amazon
rainforest is like
vast-
all over the north.
Yeah, vast
It's
region.
turned into a
Olivia.
geography lesson now.
Yeah,
Oh,
shut
yeah,
up.
so
I
you-
might learn
You
something.
implied
So
that
then-
the Amazon
Like, you
rainforest
give
was
a
only in
fuck where the
Brazil, so
Amazon
that was
is.
incorrect.
We're always
Didn't
doing
say that.
geography.
I said the river. I said the fucking river.
Well, the
You
river's not only
cherry-picking
in Brazil
pieces
either.
of shit. The majority of the river's in Brazil, you twat.
Yeah, but you implied it was only in Brazil.
No, I didn't.
And that's why I said not just Brazil.
What part
Literally
of me
2 minutes ago.
What part of me saying it runs into Colombia means I said it was only in Brazil?
No, before like 2 or so minutes ago, you said
God.
something about it's in Brazil.
So you
and I
don't
said
know
not
the
just
original
Brazil.
argument then, do you?
Do we want to play it back? Do you honestly want to play back?
The original argument was from over 12 months ago, you dick.
No, I mean, what happened just 3 minutes ago?
Oh.
About you saying it was in Brazil, and I said not just Brazil. And then you asked, like, are you saying that it's in other countries other than in the north of the southern southern
You're not allowed to say southern.
Don't worry about it.
Trickery of the mouth, according to Kimo.
Are you denying that, though?
What?
That you said it was in Brazil, and I said not just Brazil, and then you said, are you saying it's in other countries in the north of South America?
What?
Okay.
Oh, dear. I fucking hated geography at school.
You hated everything at school, didn't you?
I'm with you right now, Brian. I'm hating these pricks.
I hate
It's
geography,
tough,
but I
it's
still
tough
had
to, like, you know, teach someone dumb that they made a mistake when they can't even, they're not smart enough to
No, we
even
all
realize.
make
the irony.
mistakes. We all fucking make mistakes. That's how you learn in life.
Yeah, but
Everybody
you
does.
learn if you like recognize the mistake and, you know,
And
admit
I
to it and learn
did.
from it.
I fucking
he did. I'm
did.
gonna back him up here. He did. He said, I made a mistake.
Well done,
Yeah, but he
Dan.
made a
Fine.
second mistake in doing so, insinuating that the Amazon rainforest was only in Brazil.
You can thank Chemo
never-
for this happening, Brian,
Wait.
because he brought it up.
Hang on. When did I say the rainforest? I said the river.
Like 5 minutes ago, man.
It was the river.
No, you said the river.
Even so, it's still incorrect.
Oh god!
Yeah,
I'm
and
glad
I
showed up
admitted
late.
that over 12 months ago.
I'm really
Lord have
glad I woke
mercy.
up and this morning to hear this bullshit.
The fact of the matter is, the Amazon River runs through like fucking 10 South American countries, and it wouldn't run if the Earth's flat. So carry on.
Well, that's not true.
Well, it has
It's
to run
not true if
downhill,
you're
doesn't it?
retarded.
Both parts aren't true.
No, the Earth being flat, rivers would run on the flat Earth. You need elevation change.
Okay, and then it would just stop, and then be a big pool in the fucking ocean of fresh water.
Oh, that's another issue.
Oh, okay, of course not. Because on the flat Earth, then there'd be no ocean currents
Right,
either.
Jazza.
That's another issue.
Alright, let's get back to the shape of the Earth now then.
Oh fuck chemo.
So, Jazza, is that you, Jazza?
What sort
Wait,
of what
do
sort of
gravity
what sort of
create the
bollocks?
ocean currents?
What sort of bollocks?
Here
do
we
you
go.
have
Does
today,
gravity
chemo?
create ocean currents?
No, the ocean currents
wait,
go all the
check
way
it out,
around the ocean
percentage.
though, and on the flat
Hey,
Earth they wouldn't
percentage,
work.
check it
the way
out.
they do.
Chemo
I
saved me there. Did you see that? He's gatekeeping for me.
That's all right,
Pretty
Dan.
good,
Boss.
eh?
It was old news. Move forward.
Because the
Thank
southern ocean currents couldn't work on your space pizza. That's why.
Well, why
Why
doesn't
wouldn't they be
Australia
able to?
slip off the
Because you
ball?
can't have Antarctic currents go all the way around the outside of your.
They don't need to be
Ice wall
Antarctic
bullshit.
currents. You could have currents in the south that just go around. Why not?
Yeah, because they'd have to go in order to go around all the way around your 6,000-mile ocean ice wall bullshit. It's the same. It's the same argument as the Vendée Globe. It just doesn't work
Why?
because they have to be like the fastest ocean currents on Earth in order to make
Why?
up your. You
Exactly.
can measure them, you moron.
We measure them. Why wouldn't they be going the speed that they're going? Why do they need to be going faster?
Exactly.
Because you can measure where they're supposed to be and where they're supposed to go.
Oh, so are you like targeting a specific piece of ocean current and then monitoring where it is?
They do that all the time.
Really? How are you doing that?
They have.
Are
They
you
got,
using
like,
some like
hundreds-
radio iodine and like
They
you
got
know,
like
marking it somehow?
hundreds. They got like hundreds of buoys all over the place.
And it measures the exact like current, like where it was and you know where it is. The actual water that has that's moving. It somehow targets that.
You know, you should actually look into this before you spout your mouth.
No, seriously, come on,
Yeah.
teach me.
You should actually look into. Me
You're
teach
saying
you?
that
No, I
this
cannot
little-
teach you
this
percentage.
group of
Tell us
water
how it works.
has been
Percentage is
identified.
no way. There's
Alright,
no way I'm
bye,
going to teach you
Lucas.
percentage.
It's been identified, and you're now monitoring where that little piece of water has shifted to.
Percentage. Look into it before you spout your mouth, please.
Oh, he's biting
It's
the
the
dirt.
most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, he's just biting the dirt.
Percentage.
Yeah, well,
Ocean currents have a lot to do with temperature and salinity of salt water and fresh water coming out of rivers and shit, just like the Amazon we were just talking about.
What's your point?
And the point is that if the Earth is flat, things like that create temperature in the oceans, the sun, this is going a little bit off topic, but it has to do with temperature. Your sun, if the Earth's flat, is going to have to be going around the flat Earth faster than it is, but it's measurably going around at 15 degrees an hour. That only works on a globe Earth. It doesn't work on a flat Earth.
You're assuming things about the sun.
Close, and especially
Percentage.
especially your close and local sun, if the Earth's flat, is going to have to be going around even faster, but still somehow visually appearing to all of us to be only doing 15 degrees an hour. How does that work?
You're making two assumptions. Number one, that you know what the sun is, how it works, what nature it's
we know how it works.
Number two, you're assuming that the land masses are laid out such like as in the azimuthal equidistant map. You don't know that. So both things are assumptions. You shouldn't presuppose this stuff.
You're correct. We know that the equidistant map doesn't work. We know that. Thank you.
Yeah, you don't know the actual land masses, how they're laid out.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
We have pictures from space.
You've never once directly measured, the ocean floor to know exactly where the land masses are in conjunction to each other in the south. Where it's 97%, the latitude is like 97% water.
Denial ain't just a river in Africa. I gotcha.
But you can know where pieces of land are on the map by just measuring what their longitude is. Because we have clocks.
And we can also confirm this.
You know the landmass, but how it's laid out relative to other landmasses.
Yes, we know that. We do know that.
Once we know where the landmass is, that tells us where they are relative to the other ones. And all you need is a clock.
Not necessarily.
Yes, necessarily.
No, because the longitudes go out.
We fly
airplanes go out and they go in. So if you're just
hey, Joe, you're bringing disorder.
It's a circular argument.
I'm
because
bringing
the longitude
disorder.
Goes out and goes in.
It doesn't matter what the longitude does. You know what longitude you're on.
How do you know what the longitude is?
With a clock.
With a clock.
And looking at the sun, the moon, the star. Take your pick. You know what longitude you're on.
So back to the first one where you're assuming stuff about the sun.
We know about the sun.
Are you saying that the sun doesn't go around regardless of the details?
No, it does, but we don't know exactly how it propagates. It could be some sort of
Oh fuck! Yes, we do.
Effect. It might be some sort of magnification. Who knows how it's propagating in the south?
Slacker is talking, ballers. What are you just over talking Slacker for?
Fuck up, Kimmo.
Carry on, Slacker.
Regardless of how you see the sun, that doesn't matter. It's going around, or we're rotating. Either way, all you need to know is that, and then you have a clock, and then you know your latitude.
Longitude, no problem with that. Longitude, yeah.
So we know where the land masses are, east to west.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, that would apply if you're assuming that the sun is propagating as if it was some object of matter high in the sky, or close to local sun. You don't exactly know what the sun is, the nature of it, how it's propagating light. You're making an assumption that its apparent position is its actual position. You don't know.
Yes,
I'm not doing any of that.
God. I can't believe you're actually saying
All I'm
this.
going off of is the observation that the sun moves across the sky at a constant velocity. We never see the sun stopping and starting.
You don't know it moves at a constant velocity.
We don't see the sun stopping and starting or changing rate anywhere along the Earth.
But you don't know that it's a constant velocity, just the constant degrees per hour, but you don't know it's a constant velocity. It could be propagating in such a way.
If it were changing, you would see it change across the day or from different locations.
Maybe it does, but it seems like it doesn't.
It's never been observed.
We don't know how it propagates.
Percentage. Here's an own observation you can do. In your summer, in the northern hemisphere, your days are longer. You've got more daylight hours. I'm just talking about the sun. I've got shorter daylight hours in the southern hemisphere. The sun still moves at 15 degrees an hour. I don't know why or how that might be, possibly because of the tilt of the Earth, but you can measure that for yourself, do your own research, and what you just said is a complete load of horseshit.
How?
Hang around.
How is that relevant? We know that the sun moves at different tropics.
You just said that we don't know if the sun increases or decreases velocity. I just said to you, in your summer, you have longer days, shorter nights. Well, actually, they're equal. But in the southern hemisphere, we have shorter days in the winter, longer nights. The sun still moves. It measurably moves at 15 degrees an hour.
Yeah.
The reason for this change is the tilt of the spinning globe Earth. It can only happen on the globe Earth. Otherwise, on your flat Earth, the sun has to be, and it can't just speed up and slow down, or we'd notice it. Because what I just
Would you agree that Would you agree that an apparent movement of 15 degrees per hour does not necessarily mean the sun is traveling at a velocity that is constant?
No, I will not agree to that.
No, it's an angle.
Could you, for instance, have some sort of effect where the sun itself,
you have people here from the UK, from all across the US, and from Australia. If none of us in those locations have seen the Earth change in velocity, then there's nowhere else around for it to change.
Yeah, but you guys are making the same assumption that what is apparent is actual. You don't know that because you don't know what the sun is. So it could be, in actuality, like going through some sort of magnification, some sort of whatever. Some sort of image to make it so that the apparent image is propagating at 15 degrees per hour, but the actual velocity of it isn't, we don't even
believe in a percentage. You don't believe in a creator, mate. You believe in L. Ron Hubbard's fucking Scientology shit. Holy fuck.
So there's
you can only know what you can measure. Speculating on what things might be or how magic might happen is pointless, really, isn't it?
I agree, but even more pointless.
So why are you doing that? Why are you using that as an argument?
Pointless is to claim it is something when you have absolutely no clue.
Because but we base everything that we know about the sun on what we measure and what we observe, not on what we speculate what it could be or what it might be. We do. We know about the sun. True. What we know about the sun is based on what we can see, what we can measure, what we can observe. It's not based on what we speculate it might be or it could be.
No, but you can't measure or observe things, and yet you make the claim. You make the claim that it's made out of hydrogen and helium. You can't possibly know that.
Fuck that percentage. That's completely irrelevant. We're talking about
it's relevant because we're talking about how you guys claim to know what the sun is and you have no clue.
No, it's not. What we observe is a fucking light in the sky.
That's true.
Okay, it's got nothing to do with the composition of it. Forget that. That's a bullshit argument that you're not going to win.
No, it was a refutation to his claim that they use observation and measurement to know what it is.
Okay, so what we're talking about...
That's correct, though, isn't it? That is how we know. That is how we know what we know about the sun is by observation, measurement.
You guys claim bullshit things like it's hydrogen and helium that you've measured.
And that's based on observations and measurements.
No, it's based off an assumption.
Yes, it is.
A wavelength
observation measurements
is associated with a specific gas.
That's right.
Observation and measurements. That's correct.
Assumption.
No,
it's observation and measurements. Yes, it is. It's not an assumption at all. It's based on facts that we can verify here in laboratories on Earth.
Looking outside.
So you're affirming the consequent then. You see that in a laboratory.
We're basing it on knowledge that we've gained.
Paul, we're basing it on knowledge. Hold on a second.
In laboratories.
Hold on.
Let me make my point.
Hold on. Let me just let Paul know something, because Paul, you moan when you don't get to finish. You make the let percent finish at least.
Okay. So it's affirming the consequent fallacy because in a lab on Earth, you've had this gas. And you saw that it, it blocks or that this gas absorbs a specific wavelength of color, right? So you see that this wavelength is missing in the sky, and you automatically assume that's the gas. That's literally affirming the consequent.
That's not affirming the consequent. That's using knowledge.
Okay.
I believe I hadn't finished talking now.
Yeah,
it's
go
not
ahead.
affirming. It's not affirming. Yeah, go ahead. It's not affirming the consequent. It's using knowledge that we've gained and applying that knowledge to gain more knowledge.
It is literally affirming the consequent fallacy. Do you know what affirming the consequent means?
Also,
it's not affirming the consequent.
Call the hypothesis.
You know what it means.
Backwards in the case of helium.
Jesus Christ.
It's called
It's a simple
chemistry.
question, man.
It's called
like
chemistry.
doing-
We know about this. We know about physics. Just because we can observe physics and apply it into a different field doesn't mean it's false. You are complete and total Poe on this. You know you're wrong.
No, it's simple. He's saying if gas, absorbs this thing, then it's, that's basically, so affirming the consequence, if A and B,
not affirming the
B
consequence,
therefore
it's called a
A,
hypothesis.
right? So they see that this gas is absorbing this wavelength of color, right? So therefore, if that wavelength of color is missing anywhere, it has to be the gas.
That's correct.
You don't necessarily know that.
That's
correct. Yes, we do. We do know
You
that.
haven't measured it.
Actually, we do know that. We know that
No,
quite well. Yes, we do. It's called spectroscopy. You should look into it before you
That's
open
what we're
your...
talking about, bro. Keep up.
It's called spectroscopy. You should
and it's
open...
bullshit.
You
When
should
you're
o- no,
when
it's
you're
not
not
bullshit.
comparing it with samples,
It's science,
you
moron.
moron, it's bullshit.
You have to stop. You have to stop.
It's not bullshit. It is a science. You know it.
In the
Shut up.
lab, yes, I agree.
No,
but when you're looking
what do
at
you
the
mean in the
sky,
lab? You think that the lab
seeing
is different
colors
than
and
reality?
seeing wavelengths missing and automatically assuming
Who's
that they're
talking over who now?
You're talking
Percent,
about...
you're talking over them. Percent, you need to settle down.
My God.
I'm chill,
Yes,
man.
that's how it works, man.
Yeah, it works like that in the lab. It's absolutely
It works
fine
like
to
that
call
in
science
reality,
once in the
too.
lab when you
Guys.
have actual samples. But you
Guys,
can't
the reason
apply
you know
it
it's
to
not
things you
affirming the
can't
consequent.
verify, you can't measure.
Yes,
The
we
reason you
can.
know that it's not affirming the consequent is because affirming the consequent is reserved for formal systems. If you're not making the formal logical conclusion, you can't affirm the consequent. It only applies when you say this is absolutely logically irrefutably true. Then you are affirming the consequence in a situation like that. But you don't say that. You say this is evidence that this thing is likely to be true, and that's not affirming the consequence.
Okay, well, if they're saying that it's probabilistically likely, that's fine. But
Yeah,
they're making the
probabilistically
claim
likely.
that the sun is helium and hydrogen, not that it's likely that it is. And now they might be wrong or what have you, and it's they're claiming that it's true.
Yeah, but when our likelihood confidence gets past a certain threshold, we tend to just shorthand the speech to be is.
Well, I would appreciate if we didn't shorthand speech so it could be
I agree.
accurate.
I like to do it the other way myself, but some people just shorthand it.
So
yeah, because
Cursed
we know what it is.
Okay, so Cursed and PNS, do you guys agree with Scott that we don't know that it's hydrogen helium, that the sun is hydrogen helium?
We don't absolutely prove from a logical perspective, like from a formal.
You don't truly know.
We do
But
truly
you
know.
can know
within
you
a
know doesn't
99.
imply logical proof.
No,
No
yeah, it's
means
not,
like, do you hold it to be true with enough confidence to call it knowledge, and that's definitely something we can do. But what you want to say, if you want to get it accurate, is you want to say, do we absolutely, without a doubt, know that this is true and will always be true? Then that's not something.
It's a simple question. Is the sun hydrogen helium? Yes or no?
Yes.
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 You guys are fucking liars.
no, you don't understand
so
what chemistry. You don't understand.
Scott
You
was
don't
just saying
understand science.
It's likely,
You don't
it's likely, but now he's saying yes.
You don't
Come on.
understand how it
Again,
works.
again,
Too.
when you pass a certain threshold of confidence, then you can shorthand that as knowledge. That's exactly what we're saying. With well past that threshold for the sun. So when you ask us what is the sun made of, we can tell you what it's made of. Does it mean there's no chance we're wrong? No, it doesn't mean there's no chance we're wrong. But for all intents and purposes, for now, it makes no sense to do anything except for call that settled science, knowledge, and a fact.
No,
Now,
what makes no sense is to you to answer with a yes when it's maybe, when it's probably yes.
It's not
Oh my
maybe.
fucking
Maybe,
God, it's not maybe.
maybe implies a big chunk of uncertainty. This is not that. This is
So
like
say
99 point.
probably yes.
Hold
Don't
on,
say
hey,
yes. That's dishonest.
percent. Let me finish what I'm saying. So this is more like 99.9999999%. So close to 100% that you might as well, that you can just treat it like 100%. That's what we're doing.
No, it's not. It's like
Yes.
maybe
How it works.
50%.
How it
That's how
works.
science works.
And by the way, you don't hold anything to be 100%. Like you get in the car and act as if it's going to be.
Don't, you don't have to divert to
Hold on,
that.
let
The
me
point
finish,
is,
percent. Let
it's
me
affirming the
finish, percent. Let me
consequent.
finish,
You don't know.
Percent. You got to stop over talking people. When you get in a car and you act like it's not going to kill you, you're doing the exact same thing. You act like you know. You behave as you know. You don't in any way entertain the possibility you're going to get killed. And of course, you're probably right because 99.999% of the chance you won't.
False analogy. Because with the car, it's actually verified that it's super, that the chances are very, very low. But for this, it's literally affirming the consequent. You have no measurements, no actual samples from the sun. You're just speaking out of ignorance when you say it is it.
We do have samples from the sun. That's
you
correct.
have the worst analogies, V. Just the absolute
analogy
worst.
is perfect. His argument that it wasn't a good analogy made no sense at all.
Oh.
It made perfect sense because you're trying to pass it off as a 99.9 whatever percent certainty that the sun has hydrogen and helium. You have no fucking clue.
But we're talking about our confidence in it. So our confidence could be high. You could think it's unjustified.
Confidence is not high. Stop trying to pass it off as it is.
How do you know? You can't read our minds.
Because I know how they came to the conclusion.
No,
and
you
the conclusion
don't.
is literally affirming the consequent because they had a sample
You're denying
and it absorbed specific wavelengths.
Affirming the consequence requires it to be formal logic. It has nothing to do with confidence levels. Like it doesn't make any sense what you're saying.
Affirming the consequent is just a fallacy. It shows bad logic.
I
And
know
you're basing
you
this conclusion
don't
off
like
of
spectroscopy.
logic.
It's a formal fallacy.
It doesn't matter. It's still bad
It
logic.
does matter. It does matter, dude.
I know you don't like spectroscopy percentage, but tough shit. It works. You can't explain
And it's not
lines
just
in the lab.
And it's not just for
No, it works
spectroscopy either,
all
it's
over the
other
place.
things as well.
With actual gas samples or whatever samples of whatever object you have in hand or in the lab, that's fine. But when you're making assumptions as to colors in the sky, you're tripping.
No, it's
not
exactly
a
the
sun.
same damn thing. It doesn't work differently just because it's in the sun.
Yes, it does, because you have no
No,
samples to
it does
verify,
not,
bro.
sir.
See the red or the blue.
You have no samples to verify. Go ahead,
You
Brian.
don't understand spectroscopy. You should actually look into it before you flap your lips some
What
more.
don't I understand? What did I say
You
that was
don't
incorrect?
understand the basic thing and how it understands. You're saying that if we observe it in the lab, therefore, if we observe the same line somewhere else, but that's fake because I want it to be fake.
What do I not understand about spectroscopy? That's your claim right now. Go ahead.
You don't understand
What have I
spectroscopy
gotten
because
wrong?
how can you deny that the sun is hydrogen and helium then?
Because it's affirming the consequent. It's bad
No,
logic.
it's not affirming the
Don't
consequent. It's
understand
not,
about
no,
spectroscopy.
it is not.
What
We
did I-
observe
hold up. What did I say wrong?
Confirming the consequent. That's how fucking science works.
No,
You
what did I
moron.
say wrong about spectroscopy? Go ahead.
That the sun is not hydrogen and helium because we observe the lines.
So basically, you're just saying shit. You have no, substantiation.
You have no idea
for
what you're talking about.
it. It's an ad hom.
It's not an ad hoc.
What is made of? What does that have to do with how fast it's moving across the sky?
Exactly. That's
It's
another
just-
issue.
It was just a
Context
refutation
and
to their
display
claim that
bounds
they
do
know
not
what the
address the
sun is
original context.
because they can measure it and observe it and stuff. They're trying to
Yes,
act
we
like
can.
they only employ empiricism.
You brought
and
up
that's not
what it's
true.
made of. We don't
They
care what it's
employ-
made of.
Hold up. They employ fallacious logic, and they make
Oh,
assumptions,
fucking
non sequiturs, and that's why you can't rely on whatever you say about the sun.
We can
No, I know
rely
you
on
can.
what is how fast it's going. We can rely on that no matter what it's
You
made
don't
of.
know what it is to say
It
how
doesn't
fast it's
matter
going.
what we can see it going across the sky. Doesn't matter.
You can see an apparent thing moving at a constant 15 degrees per hour.
Oh,
you
so
don't know
what-
what
how-
the
what do you mean an
actual sun,
apparent
whatever
thing?
it is. You have no clue.
Yes, we do. We know what
Unless
it
you
is.
change how many hours are in a day, we know what it is.
No, I'm telling you, the apparent effect is the same, but you don't know what the actual thing is to
So
know
you're
how
saying-
it's propagating, to know
But yes, we do.
the nature of it.
It seems to be that you're the one that doesn't know what it is.
No,
and you're
you
trying
don't know, bro. You've never been up there.
Haven't finished talking. Haven't finished talking. You jumped right in and interrupted me again. Right?
Go ahead.
It seems to me that you're tarring us with the same brush that you have for yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, but I'm not making
well, then
claims. You're the one making claims.
Well, then just be satisfied that you don't know what it is and let us be satisfied that we do know what it is.
You don't know. That's the issue. You have to get it.
We do.
You've never been up there to verify it. You don't have a sample of sun. You've never once verified
do
a
have a
single thing
sample of
about
sun.
it, aside from our empiricism that we could observe.
But you're wrong. We
on
do
Earth.
have samples.
Wow.
Speaking
All right.
of logical fallacies percentage, you are doing the tu quoque fallacy right there. When you assume we don't know because you don't know.
That's not what I'm assuming.
Well, you think
I was
you've
very
got a good
clear
idea.
as to why you don't know. It's because you
I
employ
mean, if you want to
fallacious
spend
logic
all
and you
day
make
like pointing out
a
logical
argument.
fallacies, and we'll do that for you too. You are
Well,
engaging
maybe
in the
do a
tu
better
quoque
job.
fallacy.
If you're gonna imitate me, do a better job.
It's not logic that we
I
use
think I'm
anyway. It's a
imitating
weight
you.
of evidence.
We need
It's not
another-
logic that we use. It's not logic that we use percentage. So saying that it's a confirming
logic.
consequent.
I'm not
still
gonna have a
unfinished.
lobotomy
I'm
just
not
to act like you.
finished. Jesus.
No,
saying it's a logic, saying it's a fallacy, because we're using logic. We're not using logic. We're using a weight of evidence.
You're using bad logic. Go ahead, Brian.
We're not using logic at all. We're using a sum of evidence to support our theories.
Yeah, go ahead,
What
Brian.
evidence do you have from a black hole other than a picture?
Hello?
We're not talking. Scattergun this whole thing.
Hello? Can you have gas in a vacuum?
Oh, fuck off,
We're
Brian.
not talking about that either.
Wow, just change the subject, Brian. Fuck's sake.
No, it's not. You're saying that the sun is two gases in a vacuum.
No, we're
It's
not.
actually more than two gases.
You said it was hydrogen and
Get the majority.
nitrogen.
I've actually got
In a vacuum? Can you have gases in a
Doesn't
vacuum?
matter
Yes.
what
Yes,
the
you
sun
can.
is made
Not
of.
a vacuum, is it?
Yes, you can.
You can
moron.
theoretically have gases in a vacuum if you magically put the second law of thermodynamics on hold.
Oh, you
so
don't know
that
shit
these
about the
gases
second
could
law of
come together,
thermodynamics.
and it could amass
Fucking
enough
A.
gravity to sustain itself.
Fucking
And
A,
then
you don't know
you
shit
could
about
resume the second law of thermodynamics if you want. It's basically like they have
Can't have
a
gases in
little
a vacuum,
switch,
or it ain't a
and they can turn off the
vacuum.
second law of thermodynamics whenever it pleases them.
It's
Oh,
a
shut
container
up.
with gas
But-
in.
Shut up about your second law of thermodynamics. It doesn't apply here. I'm sorry.
Of course
Wait.
it does. In the formation of planets and
what is
gaseous
it?
bodies. Are you
We
kidding
don't
me?
What is
care
it percentage?
what the sun is made of.
Is
No,
the
no,
Earth a
it's-
closed system?
Wait, stick to the fucking point. What's the second law of thermodynamics
Is
percentage?
a closed system? Because NASA has a specific answer on that.
It's not a
Can
closed
we
system.
have gas in a fucking vacuum or not?
Yes.
That's not the second law.
What is the
Show
second
me in
law
the
of
second law.
thermodynamics?
Hang on. Show me in the
That's not-
second law of thermodynamics where it states that that cannot happen.
It states that they're always going to be trying
Where?
to achieve a. Hold up.
Where?
Yo, chill. They're
I said
always going
show
to try.
me. Don't
Yo,
tell
shut
me.
the fuck up.
Show me.
They're going to try to reach a maximum value of thermodynamic equilibrium. Okay.
No, that's not the second law of
Yes.
thermodynamics.
That's not what the second law of thermodynamics is.
Provided there's nothing constraining that, and at that point in the formation of planets, there would be nothing constraining that. These gases would be evacuating into the empty space, trying to find equilibrium. Okay.
We're
It's
not
the second
Someone
law
would
of
have, like,
thermodynamics.
for some like, who knows how it happened, but at some point you would have to stop that from happening so that these molecules of gas could group together and create like have enough gravitational pull.
In an
to stay
isolated
together.
system. What
And
part of that
space
do you not
is
understand?
It's mostly empty.
Doesn't need to be.
That's the
Doesn't
entropy
matter.
rule. It's isolated, for fuck's sake. Look at it.
It doesn't need. It could be any closed system. Doesn't need to be
No,
isolated system.
isolated system.
It says
don't
it
know
in
the
the
second law of
fucking description.
thermodynamics.
It doesn't need to be an isolated system.
Yes, it
And
does.
what does it say in that description of
Chemo
any
posted it
isolated
up.
system?
Any isolated system.
And
No.
we don't say it's isolated, do we? Closest
So
we get is
percentage,
calling it
so-
a closed.
So percentage, how far away from an object does gravity cease to exist?
What?
How far away do you have to be from something for gravity to not exist from that object?
You haven't shown gravity to exist. Period.
Yes, we have Cavendish experiment.
Yeah, we know that. I mean, just you might call it something else, but there is a force there.
Yo, Nemesis,
It's called
don't
gravity.
tag me with your incorrect shit. It doesn't need to be an isolated system.
That's
Yes,
okay.
it
Chemo's
does.
The only time,
citation.
no, hold up. It needs to be an isolated system if there's a definite amount of entropy. If there's
What?
if it's a single amount of entropy, the quantity
Single
is not
amounts of
changing.
entropy?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you
Yo-
talking about?
Wow. Okay. You can shut up because you obviously don't even know what entropy
I
is.
don't know what the second law of thermodynamics is. I'm a fucking chemist by
Apparently.
training. How about you?
Well, you don't know what entropy is?
You don't know what entropy is.
Why'd you get confused when I said an amount of entropy? You know what entropy is a quantity,
Isolated
right?
system.
What
You know
is
what entropy is a
entropy
quantity,
percentage?
right?
Yeah, what is it?
The entropy?
Yeah, what is the
Yeah,
units
what
of
is it?
entropy?
It's like the energy available to do work.
Equalization, you fucking idiots.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
And in
not.
any case, isolated system, you'll have a definite amount of entropy. If it's a non-isolated system, like a closed system or a different type of system, then that amount is going to be changing. It's going to be constantly changing depending on the constraints in the system.
No.
If there's no constraints in the system, i.e. no gravity, as in the formation of the planets, then it's going to, all the gases are going to achieve thermodynamic equilibrium, and you'll have no chance of having any bodies of like planets or gaseous planets or stars or any of that bullshit. Okay.
No, again,
there is a bias.
Introduce the constraints so that they could amass enough gravitational pull.
And then
so
the third law.
Is there a bias down? Is there a bias down percent? Would you say there's a bias down?
I would not.
Rather than up. No, so it's all the same. Would you say?
I'd say it works in in the vector down and up, depending on the density of the object, the medium.
Okay, well, so would you say that a majority of things have a bias to the vector down rather than to the vector up?
For us, as humans on the surface of the Earth, yes.
Our perception of things, like we see a majority of things going down, don't we, rather than up?
Yeah, if we're quantifying all of air as like one thing, or like a balloon and stuff like that, and then comparing it with every other object, like a stick, an apple, whatever. If you're quantifying it that way, then yeah, the majority of things would be falling down.
Yeah, look, quantify air however you want to quantify it as, with whatever is in it, whether that's air, ether, whatever you want to make up of it, rocks, you name it. Whale parts,
you could quantify
it. But there is what we call a direction down.
Of course, there's directions down and up.
A majority of things have a downward kind of bias.
Again, that depends on how you classify it. Like, for instance, if I was to classify it by every kind of molecule or something, it would be tough to say that everything goes down, right? Because you have all of the different molecules in the air going up constantly, right?
So now we're getting down to molecules.
No, they're not going up.
I'm saying it's fractional, right?
50% of the molecules go, 50% of the molecules go up. 50% of the molecules go down, so now we have no bias. Is that where you're going with molecules?
No, I'm just saying it depends on the density of the system that you have, the object and the medium that you have.
Okay. But you would definitely agree there is a bias to what we call down.
No, there's no bias.
No, you wouldn't.
There's
no bias at all.
There's a direction down, direction up, but there's no inherent bias. It just depends on the densities of the object and the medium.
How do you define
there has to be some sort of bias, doesn't there? There has to be some sort of bias why those things actually go down or go up. Well, there has to be some sort of bias. If some things go down and some things go up, there has to be some sort of bias that aligns them this way.
It depends on the state of matter that you're referring to.
There's not necessarily a bias. A bias means one is preferred over the other, and that's not the case. Because they're both governed by the same thing, which is the density of the medium and object.
It depends on the state of matter.
Are you back on the globe now, Bansaw?
So, for instance,
where Bandy's going with this percentage, you've misunderstood him.
I was asking if you're back on the globe.
I was asking.
Let's say we weren't humans. Let's say we were bottom feeders at the bottom of the ocean. Most of the things that we see.
Why would you say that, Chemo?
There's this downward bias.
There is a downward bias.
There seems to be a downward direction. All right.
There's an upward direction as well.
Because I say there's a downward bias or a downward direction, why would all of a sudden you go, hey, are you on the globe?
Hold up. Bansaw, it's important to not use those two terms interchangeably, because direction is very different from bias.
You sure about that?
Yes.
Well,
because we have both upwards and downwards directions. The vector works both ways. But bias means one is preferred over the other, which isn't the case.
Exactly.
Things go down.
Exactly, right.
Some things
one
do
thing
go
prefer one way to another.
Down.
Right? And whether that one way to another is due to a bias of more pressure, more density, whatever the case may be, it inherently adopts a bias to go that way.
No, I disagree.
Well, it has to.
For instance, let's say we're not humans. Let's say we were, some shrimp at the bottom of the ocean or something like that.
I would like to think about what we are.
Yeah, but hold up.
Not what we are.
Think of this as like, what's it called? A mine. Anyways, just a thought exercise, right? So we're shrimp, we're bottom feeders at the bottom of the ocean, right? Whenever we, like any sort of oxygen or whatever, anything that we release, any poop that we have and stuff like that, that shit's gonna float up, right? Everything's gonna be floating up. There's not gonna be very little things that are gonna stay on the bottom of the ocean, right? That are released, right?
Why? Why are they going to go up?
So are we going to say that now there's an upward bias because the majority of the things we see as shrimp go up? Just because they're less dense than the medium?
Well, there has to be something